So one day, this woman is found dead at the sea. This story is fascinating and almost feels like something out of a crime.
You got yourself a
Let
deal.
me explain.
Uncle Dan.
John Darwin and Anne met in the late 1970s, and they were married in 1978. They had two sons, Mark and Anthony, and lived in a modest home in Seaton Carew, a coastal area in the northeast of England. For many years, the Darwins seemed like a regular, middle-class family. However, things were not as they seemed behind the scenes. John, while working as a prison officer, had become increasingly dissatisfied with his life. He was known to be a bit of a dreamer and started pursuing risky financial ventures. The couple invested in property, but they were doing poorly financially. In 2001, John, desperate need to make money, he even got involved in a failed business venture of running a second-hand boat dealership. He also took out loans and borrowed money from some friends. By 2002, the Darwins were in significant debt, estimated at around £70,000, which was a substantial amount for a family of their size. They were about to lose their home, and their financial situation had become desperate. So they have an idea. The plan of the death was that Anne will fake a dead. John came up with an audacious plan. He would stage Anne's death in a way that would enable him to collect the insurance payout, which was likely going to be their only hope to escape their debt. At the same time, it would allow them to start a new life, free from financial pressures. Anne, seemingly complicit in the plan, agreed to disappear. Together, they concocted a story, the plan. She would go out kayaking in the North Sea, but something would go wrong. She would go missing and Thet will presumed dead. They planned the entire thing down to the smallest detail, including arranging for John to find her abandoned canoe. The canoeing accident was 2002. On March 21, 2002, Anne went missing while out kayaking. John reported her disappearance, telling authorities that he had gone to the beach to look for her when he noticed her empty canoe floating in the water. He told them that he feared she had drowned. A search was launched, the locals and police searching for Anne Boot after several days, so unfortunately the results was zero Anne. It was called off, and Anne was declared dead. John also made sure to take some key actions in the aftermath, and several months go by he claimed Anne's life insurance, which amounted to around £250,000. He closed down their bank accounts and continued to live in the family home, although he was financially strapped. He had no qualms about collecting the insurance payout, even though it was based on a lie. But there was a problem. The money wasn't enough to cover the John and Anne financial troubles. So, because the plan wasn't just about getting the insurance payout, it was about starting over completely, without any debt hanging over their heads. And 5 years go by. For the next 5 years, Anne and John lived a double life. Anne was alive and well but living under an assumed identity. She had a secret flat in London, and John continued to live in their family home, pretending to grieve for his dead wife. He even pretended to visit her grave, and he had a headstone placed in a cemetery to make the ruse more convincing. Like bro is too much he planned this well. So John also made multiple trips abroad, but the couple kept their secret hidden from their family, friends, and the authorities. John, meanwhile, tried to keep the illusion going by telling people that he was moving on, dating other women, and even starting new business ventures. They had planned to eventually move to Panama, where they hoped to start a new life with the insurance money and avoid any potential criminal investigations. The big time. In 2007 Anne returned. The entire fraud might have gone unnoticed if it weren't for one crucial detail. Anne couldn't completely disappear from this world. Like she just can't. So in 2007, Anne decided to come forward, ending the 5-year charade. The exact reasons for this are unclear, but it seems that Anne grew tired of living in hiding. There are also reports that John's increasingly erratic behavior made her nervous. In any case, on the 4th of December 2007, Anne walked into a London police station and revealed that she was alive. Her appearance caused an immediate stir, and the police were quick to investigate. It didn't take long for them to piece together the fraud, and the authorities soon connected the dots between her disappearance and the insurance payout. The investigation and arrests is still going on. Once Anne's return was discovered, the authorities began to unravel the scheme. They found that John had been living a lavish lifestyle during all this time that his wife was supposedly dead. He had spent large sums of the insurance payout, had been traveling abroad, and was even involved in other shady business dealings. The investigation also uncovered evidence that John had fabricated the entire incident. The police learned that he had told a variety of people different versions of what had happened to his wife. Some accounts even contradicted each other, which led investigators to suspect that he was lying. In 2008, the couple was arrested and charged with fraud, theft, and money laundering. John was accused of masterminding the scheme, while Anne was accused of complicity. They went to trial and also convicted in 2008. The couple stood trial. The case was widely publicized, with many people shocked by the audacity of the crime. John was found guilty of 6 counts of fraud, including the life insurance claim. Anne was convicted of 5 counts of fraud, as well as a charge of theft. John received a 6-year prison sentence. The court found that he had been the one who orchestrated the entire plot. Anne was given a 6-year sentence as well, though her sentence was somewhat lighter because of her apparent role as more of a passive participant. However, it was clear that she was involved and that she had lied to authorities for years. They served the sentences. And after serving part of their sentences, both John and Anne were released from prison. John was released on parole in 2011 after serving about 3 years of his sentence. He returned to live in the UK, but he became somewhat of a pariah, with much of the public still outraged by his actions. Anne was released earlier, in 2011, after serving 3 years of her sentence. She had reportedly been in poor health during her time in prison, which may have contributed to her earlier release. Despite the public outrage, Anne has tried to rebuild her life and has kept a relatively low profile since her release. The story of John and Anne became a major talking point in the UK, sparking debates about greed, deception, and the lengths people will go to in order to escape financial ruin. The case also raised questions about the ethics of insurance fraud and the role of authorities in checking the legitimacy of such claims. John and Anne's story even inspired documentaries and TV shows. Like this one in 2019, a dramatic reenactment of the whole affair was aired on British television, which further cemented their place in criminal at the end of the day. The John and Anne story is one of both tragedy and absurdity. Tragic for their family, especially their children who were deeply affected by the ruse, and absurd in the lengths they went to deceive everyone around them.
Wait, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Hello friends, good morning. I am going to make a new video on my YouTube channel, and please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Subscribe.
Huh?
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.